All right, so today's adventure, I'm going to show you some of the DIY, do-it-yourself projects that I've done over the past 2 years since I've really been getting into kayaking. I love to tinker. I love to play around and build things, and I'm a pack rat, and I always save, whatever I think I might use later on in life. I always kind of keep it and throw it to the sides, but I'm always trying to build stuff, pinching pennies, and I'd rather try to create something than have to pay big money for it in the long run. So I keep the stuff handy to do projects. I just wanted to show some of the things that I use. Of course, PVC nowadays is what I've been using a lot of my projects. And if I have to buy, some mounting kits, or if I come across something that's on clearance, like one of these that I actually been looking for a long time, but I was just too cheap to pay full price for it, and I found it on the clearance aisle, so I ended up grabbing it, which I knew I could use on a future project. And Yak Attack accessories as well are that way. But if I ever had somebody that I wanted to sponsor my channel, I tell you, between Goop and JB Weld, I use them a lot on almost anything and everything. But with PVC, and a little bit of heat, it's pretty cool the things you could do with it. These are some pole holders that I started out, and I've never finished them. I painted them up, and I was going to put them on a kayak, but I'm thinking about making a stake for them and using them for when I go bank fishing. But that's just some of the projects. But I just wanted to show you some of the items that I use, and then go into some of the things that I've built in the last couple of years. I have to give a shout out to my dear wife. It was our anniversary recently, and she made this for me. Thanks, babe. So here's a quick look at a couple of the poles that I've made, and we'll go over in detail of some different aspects of them. All right, so first off, I wanted to show one of the easier mounts that I've made. This one, I just went ahead and used the GoPro, or the action camera slide mount on the top, and then same thing on the bottom. But it's a PVC pipe. I put a pool noodle on it for flotation with a coupler, and then inside the coupler I went ahead and put that action camera clip. So this actually clips on to the kayak, the front of the kayak. But again, it's real easy to make. The cool thing about the PVC, well, this one's locked in, so I'll show you on a different one. But the cool thing about the PVC is it's cheaper, and it's pretty easy to make. Here's another one I made. This is for my front GoPro. This actually is angled, and it goes in the sail mast hole in the front of my Hobie. So this is kind of my front camera, and I got it on an angled PVC where I can swing it around to film myself, or to do a forward shot. RoboHawk leashes, I use them on everything. The kayaker saying, leash it or lose it. And I got this clipped to the PVC, and then I'm running a USB-C, I think it is, cable that goes all the way down my PVC. And I got it zip tied, and I can put this straight into my hatch to run power. I've got a light on here. I do a lot of nighttime fishing, so I just mounted this battery operated light on there as well. And this is for my GoPro. I like PVC. It's a lot cheaper, but I've used other materials as well. So this here is a Vivitar Monopod. I bought for $9.95. This is one of them collapsible film monopods. And what I did was I knocked the bottom off. I'm going to take it out, unlock it, if I can get it unlocked. Come on, unlock, baby. There you go. So I knocked the bottom off and I put PVC on there, a coupler. Hopefully you can see that. And then I mounted a Railblazer starport to the bottom. So this is the actual pole, and then I put it in a PVC coupler, and then it converted it to a starport. And then on the top of the pole, I knocked the quarter 20 head that was on it. I knocked that off, and then I screwed on a starport, Railblazer starport, and that way I could mount my, and this locked in, but if I unlock it, I could take off the Burley Pro orb. Now the Burley Pro orb, when you buy it, you know, it's man, what is it? It's 75, 80 bucks, I think, somewhere around there. But when you buy it, it comes with the Railblazer extender pole. It's a three-piece pole. So when you buy the Burley Pro orb, it comes with this extender three-piece pole. It's 3 pieces of Burley Pro, or I'm not Burley Pro, Railblazer pole. It's 3 pieces. And that's what the light on top of it is. For being just a light, it's okay. But I wanted a light and a camera pole at the same time. And this it's got flex to it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some flex to it. So when it's standing on the back of that kayak with the weight of the orb as well as the weight of the camera, it just, man, it had too much flex for me. So I wanted to look at an alternative, and that's when I come up with the monopod pole. It's an aluminum telescopic pole, and I could adjust it, and I could also mount a camera onto it with all-day power. This is the Tacticam that I have on it right now, but usually I use the fisheye. And then this is a metal clamp that I got off of eBay just for, I think it was like 10 bucks. This, I bought this, and again, this is the expensive part, but the second light pole I made myself without using the Burley Pro, and so it wasn't as much. And then I liked to use either a Marine SAE or the German plugs, and I can't think of the name offhand. Oh my goodness, I lived in Germany for like 5 years too, and they use these on everything. But they're extremely waterproof. They seal up really well, and I really like them. And what I do is I buy them pre-wired and already put together, so I don't need a tool for them to build them, and I just buy them in bulk pre-wired, and then that way I can use them however I want to. Hopefully you can see that. I'm trying to get it to zoom in. There it goes. But and then that's the actual female part. But again, this is the Vivitar pole, monopod pole, in Railblazer starport, as well as a little circle clamp aluminum piece for the camera itself. This is probably the best addition for anybody that fishes at night that I could recommend. The LEDs are pretty bright at night. Another thing that I've made in the past is a transducer arm, simply out of PVC, and then I just kind of zip tied the cable. This actually goes inside the fishing pole hole on a Outback, If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't glue it all down, because right now it's set to the Outback and I can't use it on any other kayak. So I'll have to heat this up and take the glue off of it. And I'll probably add pins to it in here instead of having to glue it. And that way I can change the angle for different kayaks. All right, the last one that I'm going to show, this is kind of a mixture between a purchase and then a DIY. This is the Railblazer. I think it's a 600 camera boom. And then what I wanted to do, it came with this flat plate on it, but I wanted a 360 light as well. So instead of spending the money, the 70 bucks or 80 bucks on the Burley Pro, I figured I'd go ahead and try and build one myself. So I bought this light. It is an LED 360 light off of Amazon. Hopefully you can see that. It's got bulbs, little LED bulbs all the way around it, and I actually bought a couple extra bulbs. So I bought that light, and then the extra pieces from the Monopod, I actually repurposed them. So this is the top of that Monopod. If I can do this one-handed. That is the top of that Monopod that I busted off. So now I just set this light on this Monopod, and I can lock it in. All right. Okay. And then this is PVC going down into a coupler, and then it's screwed on with a corner 20 bolt from the underside. So I can take that whole light off if I want to. And then of course, this is the action camera mount. I got it up here angled with my Tacticam with all day power running off the end cap from Fisheye, and then it's going down where I got my plugs, and I could plug this bad boy up. We'll see some light. Okay, and then that's the actual 360 light. And then what I have on my battery box, this is a I guess I can turn it that way. This is an SAE to USB, and it's got a power switch on it. And then I can hook my cameras into the USB ports to run power. And then we will show simply how I made the battery box. We'll pool noodles and foam. To keep it solid. And this is just a waterproof Plano box I got from Bass Pro in Springfield. And this fits in the front hatch of the Outback. Again, some looks at it. But I'm all about trying to save some money by doing a do-it-yourself, a DIY. A prime example is this this Hummingbird. I originally had the Hummingbird set up on a Yak Attack Hummingbird mount. But in order to set it up on this Ascend, the Yak Attack mount was just loose. It was not stable and sturdy at all. So I had these ram ball sockets and bones already in my possession. But it was 50 bucks to get the mount to go from a ram ball to the Hummingbird. So instead of doing that, I just made my own plate, this plate right here, out of Starboard. This is 3/8 inch starboard, and I buy it in bulk sheets. Here's a sheet right here that I've used for various pieces, and I use it for several projects. But I mounted the ram ball onto that, and then the Hummingbird bracket. So now I've got a solid fish finder bracket on my kayak, and it is way more stable than the Yak Attack. Another DIY project. This is kind of a crow's nest, or a perch, I guess you'd call it, for if I bow fish off of this Ascend. And not only will it hold my bow, but I've got it where I can mount either an action camera to either side, either with a 1/4-20 or with a quick disconnect, and it goes down inside the pole, fishing pole holes on the kayak. And of course I yank it off when I'm just fishing and I'm not going to bow fish. Hopefully you can take some ideas from mine and use them in the future for yours. Again, it's pretty easy once you think about how you want to do it, how you want to hook them up. And a little bit of PVC and some screws, some goop, maybe some JB weld. And if you need to buy connection pieces, of course they're always around to find them. Thanks for watching, and see you in the water.